the Monster Men. Arrgh! First things first.
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
2 years. 2. Chuck Woolery. See you in 2 and 2.
Yeah.
2 years of being complete
Idiots.
bobbleheads.
And there's no bobbleheads
No
on the set
bobbleheads
today.
aside. I'll just. It's my Captain Hepburn. You're my knight in shining armor.
Okay, so the topic today, Captain America.
Yes.
We both saw Man of Steel. So, the way you love Bigfoot is kind of the way I love superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Man of Steel, and let's talk about
Let's
superhero
qualify
movies.
this. I like superhero movies as much as you do.
I don't think you do.
I'm more critical.
You haven't seen Dark Knight Rises. I saw it midnight show. Opening.
It sat on this thing for like 3 months, and I never got around to it. I will see.
I'm a little more of a spaz than you.
All right.
So once we get going,
So can we start off with Man of Steel?
let's start off with Man of Steel.
Please.
Another one I saw midnight show, IMAX, opening night.
I saw at the drive-in, which to me it's anything at the drive-in. The drive-in automatically elevates a movie at least 1 star, and it couldn't save it. It just couldn't save it.
Let me just explain. In the row I sat in, on one side I've got my friend Lewis, who's a huge comic book guy. On the other side of me, I got my buddies Nick and Ryan, who enjoy stuff like this, kind of like you and I, maybe not as
They're there for the fun of it.
not psycho like us two, but when we came out, Lewis thought about it and pretty much thought it was finally the representation of Superman he's been waiting for, loyal to the comic book, loved
Really?
it, one of the best superhero movies. Not to quote him, but I've listened to some other comic book podcasts, and similarly, it seems like comic book people love this movie.
But that's nothing like the comic.
Go to the other side of the row.
Yeah.
My other 2 friends hated it.
Mm-hmm.
My reaction when I walked out was,
Here's the deal. I saw this at the drive-in double feature, Despicable Me 2, Superman. Of course, the cartoon comes on first. There is nowhere to put a car. They oversold it. People are in places they shouldn't be. Superman starts, always with the double feature, some cars start to leave. By a half an hour in, 10 cars.
wow.
All you heard during the whole movie, the first half hour, was headlights going on, and I'm like, I'm sticking with this. I paid for it. I'm going to go see my double feature. This has to get better. And it just went from bad to worse to god awful.
Let's qualify this. We're going to spoil movies in this episode.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Man of Steel or other comic book movies, this is a conversation for people who have seen these movies.
If we spoil Man of Steel for you, you can send us half the money you would have spent on
Here's
it
the
to thank
review.
us.
If you want to turn it off and come back later if you haven't seen it, he would say, don't see it. I would say, wait for video.
Yeah, I wouldn't even wait for a video. To me, it's not Superman.
Well, all right, now let's get into the... let's quickly talk about Man of Steel, and then we'll start talking about other superhero movies. So, one of my friends who has a kid was concerned with the fact, let's go right to the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Superman kills General Zod at the end of the movie.
That was the only part I thought was cool. But it still wasn't Superman.
I didn't have a problem with him killing somebody, even though
There goes the
I
head.
know that, he's not supposed to kill people. I feel like if you watch, like one of the things I loved about Wolverine when he first came out was like, wow, this guy kills people.
All right, and that was the cool thing about Wolverine, even in the comics, where even if they didn't show him kill, you knew he killed.
Yeah.
Because he was crazy.
And then if you watch Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman uses guns and Batman doesn't. And basically, if you go back and watch all the Batman movies,
Right.
had Batman simply used a gun, a lot of things would have been a lot easier.
That's why they made the Punisher.
Yeah.
The Batman balls.
But I can understand I want to bring my 8-year-old to this movie. I'm bringing him to see Superman, and all of a sudden he's snapping people's necks. That's not quite exactly...
That was one bad guy. Let's not forget the fact that he may have killed 100,000 innocent civilians in a city that he leveled, that no amount of money could ever recover the city. And then, my favorite part is at the very end, he catches crap for knocking out a $20 million satellite. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, I went back and watched Superman 2, which basically Man of Steel takes Superman 1 and Superman 2, sucks out any personality and humor.
They should have just put a piece of wadded up Wonder Bread with a wig, and they could have made, oh look, there's Superman.
If you go back and watch the Christopher Reeve Supermans, they're flawed movies.
Yes.
But they were fun because when people first saw Superman, they'd be like, what?
And he had a personality.
He did. This movie had no humor to it whatsoever.
No.
There was no sort of, people like looking up at a man in the sky and bumping into something even. Like, it's not
No. But
or,
then
fainting from a guy who could fly.
But then they tried to make this dark, gritty Superman, and there was nothing there for anybody.
So in the movie, in the original Superman 2, Zod and his sidekicks start fighting Superman, and then they realize he cares for the people, and that's when Superman bails on the fight.
Right.
And people think that Superman
he
ran away, but what he was doing was saving them.
Right.
And that was like the weakness he had.
But that's the heart of Superman, and you need a weakness for Superman because he really doesn't have one.
And that was the thing, is Superman never tried, even attempted to take the fight away.
No!
The closest he came was when he was in Smallville.
Whip you through some buildings.
He's in Smallville, and Zod's near his mother, and he flies and takes Zod away.
Right.
But he was really doing that just because that's the way he fights.
And we were all grateful that he saved Diane Lane.
Yes.
But
unfaithful with her. Ow.
Oh, yes. Outsiders. Cherry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just think they completely... They were going for one thing, and they missed everything. They missed what Superman, the heart of who Superman is. They missed creating characters that you cared about. They threw out a whole... Kevin Costner. Hey, can you just throw out like 50 cliches in this
You just
stupid
brought up
movie?
my number one problem with the movie. The way Pa Kent dies, where he's like, don't save me from a tornado. In the first Superman, Glenn Ford dies by a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Superman's helpless to save him.
Right.
What a touching moment. To this day, when I see that, like, oh. This one, first of all, he dies saving the dog. Then, people might see you. But Superman could
Go so
literally
fast they never see him.
Or just... He could make it look like he's not Superman and save. Like, he could probably walk normally in a tornado.
Well, Dad said no.
Yeah.
So, no, son. No, son.
Yeah, so I thought...
Stupid.
Now, they're trying to set up Superman as the springboard for Warner Brothers and DC to do a Justice League movie to compete with the Avengers.
Good luck if that's your springboard.
They're missing what the Avengers has, because if you see Iron Man 3, which...
That's a perfect... Let's get into that one.
So, Iron Man 3... All these movies are polarizing when they come out, because there are people who are like, that's not the way Superman should be, and that's not the way Iron Man should be, and other people who are like, that's the greatest thing ever. These characters all have baggage. But for me, Iron Man 3 was great because it was funny.
Yeah. I think that... what's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
I think he is the best actor portraying a superhero in any of the movies across DC, Marvel, Independent, whatever. He's nailed that. That movie was great, even though he wasn't in the suit.
That's what I was
for
going to say.
most of the movie.
It's like, there's a superhero that you don't want to see him in the suit.
You don't even need to see him in the suit.
And
it's called good writing.
The Dark Knight
and acting
was probably one of the best ones out of all these DC ones, because while it was a serious movie, Heath Ledger was so compelling. He was funny and terrifying at the same time.
Oh, I thought his 20 minutes in that 2.5 hour stillborn movie was okay. No, not okay. I thought it was great. It was the rest around it. I sat there and I said, I'm not stupid. I can't even figure out what this movie was about. What happened here? The first one I loved, by the way.
You and I saw the first one together. We walked out like, what was that?
The first one was one of the best superhero movies I ever saw. So, and when that second one came in and I heard all about Heath Ledger, every time he came on the screen, it was a different movie. It was like they had the writers for different strokes. They wrote the first part, and maybe they were on acid, and they couldn't figure out what the threads were. And then they got, like, the guy who wrote Chinatown in to come and write.
Originally, the guy who owned the bicycle shop was going to be the bad guy. It's going to make Bruce Wayne take a bath.
Batman, you need to fight the gooch.
Yeah, but so the DC, their humor is not there. The Marvel, lighter tone, still.
Because it's a comic book.
Yeah.
That's what they.
And that's why I walked out of the Avengers going, one of the best theatrical experiences. Sitting in a movie theater,
right,
having fun. Listen, when Hulk is Bruce Banner first turns into the Hulk, and Scarlett Johansson's like terrified, and he's just about to clock her, and Thor comes and tackles the Hulk. I was an 8-year-old boy.
Oh my
when that
God.
happened. I'm like, Thor and the Hulk are fighting. This is and Thor's holding his own, but he can't hold it for long, and Hulk can't pick up the hammer.
You know what that made me think of? Hulk versus the Thing in the comics.
Yes.
Remember that? Oh my God! And Hulk killed the Thing. Oh, that's what it made me think of. But they keep that connection, and I think Stan Lee being alive, they're afraid of screwing him over and screwing over his creations.
But Marvel's doing a good job of. They're not. Listen, the Captain America movie was really good. It's not the greatest superhero movie ever made, but the special effects for making him thin, and then
oh my God, that was
phenomenal.
crazy, right?
Great intro story, and then Cap was great in the Avengers. His next movie's coming out. It's going to have Scarlett Johansson's going to be in it, and Shield, and Falcon's going to be in it.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that.
That's a Winter Soldier.
I can't wait. The Marvel's doing a good job melding them all, but making good.
The trailer to Thor, Dark World.
Oh my God, doesn't that look good?
Looks phenomenal. And Thor was the big surprise one for me.
I didn't even want to see Thor because I didn't like Thor.
I didn't see it in the theater.
I didn't either. I popped it on Netflix one day and I was like, holy crap, Thor was really good.
It was really good. Again, it had
funny
heart and it was funny. When Thor gets hit by the van, that was hilarious. Now they're doing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, but the big news, Comic-Con in San Diego is going on right now. Avengers 2 in 2015 is going to be called The Age of Ultron, which is this robot guy.
Not to be confused with Voltron.
Yeah, which is Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Then they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my God, I still like them.
I never read that, but the dude from Parks and Rec, the goofy guy who was in the cast.
Oh yeah.
He was in Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, I heard
he's going to be like Star-Lord. And yeah, he's bulked up. That guy's hilarious on Parks and Rec.
He is.
And so Guardians of the Galaxy is going to have Thanos in it. It's going to be the real galactic, mystical Marvel universe.
I want to see that. Give me the Watchers.
And Thanos it's all going to be linked back. So Marvel's creating this cinematic universe that's like their comic books where, unfortunately, they don't hold the rights to the X-Men or Spider-Man. So Spider-Man's doing this whole world now. We're going to have Electro, probably the Green Goblin, and the Rhino.
Stupid.
But did you see Jamie Foxx's Electro, and instead of the yellow mask, he looks like a...
Come on, you need the lightning bolt thing going out of your head.
I know. He kind of looks like he's got white. He looks like powder, but electrified. But the Spider-Man movies, they reboot. This is one of the problems I had with Superman. I know you need to redo the origin story because they're rebooting.
Didn't they reboot it 5 years ago with Brian Rauch or whatever his name?
Well, no, that was a continuation of the Superman, of the Donner Superman. Superman Returns. All right, so you see Superman Returns, and you're like, I wish that Superman would actually fight a villain where he gets into a fist fight and does some damage.
Well,
Zack Snyder comes along, does Man of Steel, and those fights went on forever. And like, how many more buildings do I need to see come down?
I said it was like watching a 2-hour car chase.
Or a video game.
Can only be as exciting for so long, and then you're just bored.
So the sequel to Man of Steel is going to have Batman in it. They just announced this yesterday too.
But not Christian Bale.
No, they're going to reboot Batman, which I think is a good idea. They need to create a Batman that is in a world with superheroes. Freaking Superman's a god. If they introduce Aquaman and the Flash and Wonder Woman, they're all godlike. You know, the DC characters are not just like, oh, I have claws and healing factor. It's like, I can run so fast I can go through time and space. You know, so how does Batman keep up? So they have to create a more fantastic Batman.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
well, they need flaws. Every superhero needs a flaw. You know? I hope they make another Green Lantern movie.
Here's my thing my advice for DC: leave Green Lantern out of the Justice League. He's not a good superhero. He's maybe good in comic books.
I loved him in comic books.
I don't want to see a guy create a big hammer with his ring and hit. The best Green Lantern is have you read New Frontier? It's a comic series that takes place like back in like the 60s.
Right.
And all the superheroes come together to fight this threat. And it's as if it took place like when JFK was in office and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when it's centered around when Green Lantern first finds his ring.
Right.
And in that, he uses the ring like his jet is broken. He uses the ring to power the jet. He uses the ring to protect himself out in space. So instead of like just making like a race car that's green,
right,
it was the green ring was a power source that could do things. But you know, when you were watching that freaking Green Lantern movie and he's like out in space with giant fists, like that might work in a comic book. But for me, Green Lantern's got to be tweaked to work.
I don't know. I don't think Ryan Reynolds was the right choice.
No,
either.
He's a good actor, but
that was the case of the writing just wasn't there. You know. Now the one I hope that everything comes together is the new Wolverine movie, which
Wolverine is based on the Chris Claremont miniseries from the '80s, which is one of the all-time.
I sold that to help pay the rent in the '90s.
I'm scouring my house right now to find it. I know it's somewhere with that.
Yeah, I sold the whole thing because I needed to make some change.
Now X-Men is doing after Wolverine. They're doing Days of Future Past.
Now what is that?
That's when Kitty Pryde went back in time.
Oh, Kitty Pryde.
And the Sentinels had killed everybody except Wolverine.
Yeah.
And
I love
so
Sentinels.
in this, they're going to have Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen as Magneto. They're going to have old, and Patrick Stewart's back.
So it's kind of going to connect the first X-Men trilogy, the X-Men Origins.
Bryan Singer's back to fix the X-Men 3 was an abortion.
Yeah. Could have ended better.
They're going to fix stuff so that the X-Men universe is more like the Avengers universe.
I wonder, are they going to bring the same cast back?
Yes.
Really? Because Famke Janssen...
She's in the Wolverine movie. I think it's a flashback or something.
Really?
She's in the trailer. That's why I know.
She had some vicious, I think it's plastic surgery recently where I couldn't tell. Well, you saw some of Hemlock Grove.
That bad accent.
Could you tell that was even her?
Because I just watched Rounders when she was young and sexy. And
right. All right. Well,
I could stay.
What about the guy who plays Cyclops?
James Marsden. I don't know if he's in it.
Oh, please get rid of him.
But a lot of the same crew is back, and it's gonna, like, Professor X died in number 3,
mm-hmm.
but so I think Bryan Singer is coming back to fix the franchise, and they're rebooting Fantastic Four too.
That needs a reboot.
They live in the same company owns the rights to both. I think it's Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So you could potentially have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, but they're not in the same. They can't play nice with the Marvel, which stinks. Daredevil just went back over to Marvel, so they could.
You know what? I hope Kevin Smith gets a hold of that, because he wrote a bunch. He was writing for Daredevil for a while, and I wonder if he did get it. Would he give his buddy Ben Affleck another shot?
Ben Affleck turned down Justice.
Here's your mulligan. Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he's in a better place. Look, the dude is, an Academy Award.
The Town's one of my favorite movies.
So he's in another place. He doesn't need to do this. Another movie I can't wait to see, Kick-Ass 2.
Oh.
Love.
Is there any better character than Hit Girl?
Hit Girl. We love Hit Girl.
She's getting older now, so she's not going to be as cute and funny, but she's still going to steal that movie.
It was so disturbing in the first one with her mouth and what she was doing, but still, I love the Hit Girl comics, so they're pretty good.
I need to get that from you because I never read it.
What do we got else? You got here?
Robert Downey signed on for the Avengers, but he looks like he's done with singular Iron Man movies.
He hasn't ruled it out though.
Right. I think Iron Man needs a break.
He realizes he's going to get too old. He's going to be 60,
Phase 3 of the Marvel Universe is going to be Ant-Man,
which I never liked.
Doctor Strange, which now they're talking about maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Doctor Strange. I don't know if I see that.
Maybe able to pull it off.
Maybe. But
only time I liked Doctor Strange was in the Spiderman rock opera album. Send Kingpin to hell! Yay!
And then the Hulk, I think, is just right for now, just going to be an ensemble guy.
Yeah, I don't think that. Unless did Bill Bixby have a son? It'd be cool to have little Bixby. Well, he's probably our age now.
Well, Mark Ruffalo basically used Bixby as his.
Mark Ruffalo is very good as the Hulk. Ghost Rider. Now, okay. Enough said. Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. Out. Cool comics though. They always look badass.
Yeah.
You know, but no.
Yeah, no, that's probably enough for...
You all superheroed out? I am. I want to go watch some horror movies now.
Excelsior! Alright, so we will see you at the theater, and we'll see you next time on...
Monster Men! Hi-yo!
Okay, we need to do a quick Hunter Shea update, real quick.
Update.
Hunter Shea update!
I have big news. One of my favorite books that I've written so far. It's a novella called Swamp Monster Massacre about my skunk apes down in the bayou. Arrgh! Actually, down in the Florida swamps.
I'm wearing a Hunter Shea hat.
That novella has done incredibly well, and now it is officially an audio book.
You have arrived.
So it's, and the guy who does it, the main character is this dude named Rooster Murphy, who's like a petty thief who's got some anger issues, and he's from Florida. And this guy just has the whole voice. He just has the whole timbre down. I mean, it's perfect. So
what's it like hearing somebody read your words?
You know what? I said, when I first got it, I listened to the first chapter out loud in the living room, and I didn't realize how offensive that first chapter was until I heard another guy read that. And I said, wow, I think I offended every religion and nationality I could right in the first chapter.
It's part of your charm.
Mission accomplished.
What else? You've got Swamp Monster Massacre, you got Evil Eternal.
Sinister Entity came out in the spring this year, and I'm actually doing some book signings over the summer.
Sinister Entity is my favorite book you've written so far. Swampy is very good, though. It's a whole different...
It's nothing like anything I've done.
You know, when it's a novella, these books are not expensive. Go buy these damn books. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, really. It's an ebook. Novella costs you about $2 and change.
I have read Swamp Monster Massacre, but I'm getting the audiobook so I can listen to it probably next time I drive here to do Monster Men shows.
It's a completely different experience when you hear it. I gotta tell you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. So if you want, you can put a little. It's available at huntershade.com. You can just click on there and you can get the book. You can hear a sample of it. So hope you all check it out. It's got a different cover.
Okay. Go to huntershade.com and we'll get you there. All right, congratulations, and check it out.
Get squatching.
Woo. Grr, arg.